All right, so when I start with groundwork, I always start with flexion first. So I'm gonna do lateral flexion, then vertical flexion. So for your lateral flexion, you're gonna wanna stand kind of where you would be sitting in your saddle, and then have your slack organized. I like to rest my hand up here. It doesn't really matter. Just find what's comfortable for you. Then I'm gonna pull out to the side, like towards my knee if I was riding, then up to my leg, hold, he gave, so I'm gonna release. As soon as he gives that like last 10%, you wanna release it as fast as possible to say, good job, that's what I wanted. So he did that really nicely, so I'm just gonna give him a second. I'm gonna go back down a little ways down my lead rope. I'm gonna ask for that nose around, find an anchor point, wait for him to give. He gave, so I drop it like a hot potato. You want that release to be fast because horses have about a 3-second window of learning. So he did that side really well, so I'm gonna go to the other side. Whatever you do on one side, you wanna do on the other to keep your horse well-rounded, and you're gonna find that your horse is better on one side than they are on the other. So if you find the side that they're weaker on, just do a couple extra repetitions on that side. So same thing, I'm gonna pull out to the side, up to an anchor point, he gave, I released, so he's way better on this side than he is on the other side, and you can see him being an overachiever right now. Although all that pressure was released, he kept giving because he likes to be an overachiever. So his attention's on the horses out in the pasture, so I'm just gonna bring this nose back around, out to the side, up, he gave, I release. Again, overachiever. So if I was doing a long training session with him, I'd go to the other side and do several more repetitions over there. So now that I have lateral flexion, left side and right side, that means I can then go to vertical flexion. So with vertical flexion in a rope halter, I'm just going to hold right up here closer than I did, like this was for lateral flexion, so up here for vertical flexion, and I'm gonna pull back to the center of his chest. And what I'm looking for is for that nose to tip in towards his chest, not necessarily for his head to drop, because that wouldn't be flexion, but we want this pole to flex by bringing this nose towards his chest. I don't expect him to touch his chest, just to bring it in that direction. So I'm gonna hold that, I'm gonna pull back. He gave a little bit, but he primarily put his head down on that one. So he wants some scratches, but not yet, we're training. So I'm gonna hold there. See how he keeps giving? There, that was really nice. He really flexed that pole. His neck arched just a little bit. And he loves some attention, so we're gonna give him a little scratching. Oh, he might have a little bit more of an itch. All right, so I'm just gonna do that one more time because I'd like for him, he's licking and chewing. That's a sign of relaxation, stress leaving his body. So I'm gonna give him that lick and chew right there. Let him think about it for a second. All right, now I'm gonna bring this head back towards me and I'm gonna bring that hand. See how much faster he was to give there? I'm gonna ask again. Good, that was really nice. One more time for good measure. Good, right there. So he did really good on that.